Ah yes, university. The secret colosseum where futures are forged, dreams are crushed and your liver becomes a war veteran. You picked engineering, a real degree they said. No finger painting or finding yourself, just good, old-fashioned, meth-induced psychosis. You arrive with a dream. Psych quests include red BMW Cabrio, losing hair, gaining belly, smiling in a LinkedIn profile like you're not dead inside. You think you're building a future. You're actually signing up for a very expensive group hallucination. But look, you're doing it. You're standing in a lecture hall with 300 other anxiety muffins. The professor, who lacks experienced human joy in 1976, draws an equation that looks like a dying spider. You nod, pretend to understand, and Google what is thermodynamics under the desk. They think, ah yes, the four women of apocalypse. One's like you, but you don't. One's dating a business major. One's actually real and probably likes you, so you guys drink coffee together every Tuesday, but you're too afraid to ask. And one asks if you ever worn a dark color. You say, not yet. Eventually, you get a girlfriend. She's charming. Then she suggests shared toothbrushes and says Freud was misunderstood. You meet a friend. He's weird, possibly gay, possibly an alien. You bond over how much you hate Solid Edge. First job? A family. No, not yours. The work family at the cafe. We are all a family here, the manager says as you sweep mouse poop out of chocolate chips. Your coworkers are a bit slow, but you guys get along. You're making money, so you buy food, real food, from restaurants, 3 times a week, and that Steam game you never play. Your hobbies? Gone. You wanted to paint, now you cry into graph paper and eat instant noodles. You're an engineering student. You speak in circuits and stress diagrams. You stare at the iron carbon phase diagram like it's an ancient scripture. You nod. You don't understand the thing, you highlight it anyway. Your grades slip. You were an A+ student in school. Now you celebrate a C like it's a Nobel Prize. But you can't really blame anyone because you only study a day before the test. Then the second part-time job. You don't have a degree, but officially an engineer now. Your job? Tighten bolts for 6 hours. Your soul? Left in the vending machine next to the stale Snickers. You make even more money now, so eventually you buy a car. Why a car? Because you don't know what else to do with the saved money. And during a late night drive, while listening to music that make you feel like maybe, just maybe, you're still human, you crash it. Because that's what people do when they lost. They crash. You don't really go to classes anymore. You cry in the shower. Then remember, you still have to do your thesis. You don't even know what it looks like. You try to sign into the university portal. It requires a username, password, authentication code, retina scan, blood type and the tears of a Slavic grandmother. You give up. Eat cereal, contemplate van life. But you don't quit. You can't quit. Because quitting would mean admitting you were wrong, and you can't be wrong. You had a plan. You followed the path. You cannot regret coming to university now. You're nearly done. You finish. You get the piece of paper. You shake the Dan's hand. He smells like mothballs and quiet disappointment. You wonder if it was worth it. If she was the one. If you should have painted. If anything you learned applies to real life. But hey, you have a degree. You made it. Congratulations. Now go, apply for jobs alongside people with the same piece of paper, the same debt and the same feeling that something, somewhere went very, very wrong.